Right, now give me a, can you hear me? Can you not hear me? Can you hear me? Can you not hear me? Just let me know. I'm trying every option I've got here. Yes, you can hear me. Hurrah. Oh my goodness. This sound issue hasn't played up for a while. So I thought it was the curse of November, but obviously just on my last Treatsember, it has decided to play up again. So we've got a big thumbs up. We're here. Woohoo! We've got Andy. Hello, Andy. We've got Susan and Suya. We've got Caro. We've got Debbie. We've got, not quite sure, there's a few different ones there. We've got Ian. We've got someone, Mo, I'm not sure, Debs, Mark, Spits and Spots, JB, and Ian. So welcome. Anyone joining after that, feel free to say hello. And if you're watching on catch up, just put in that you've seen it, say hello, hashtag replay, and then I know that you have watched this. Hello, Neil. As you can see behind me, the place is trashed today. I was 2 minutes late starting. The sound wasn't working, but I was in my happy place. I was creating this Christmas festive image for you. And we're going to start right from the beginning of it today. And I'm going to work you all the way through, and we're going to actually take the photo on the screen today. Now, the limitations that I've found doing Treatsember is I really wanted to go live on Instagram and YouTube. One, because I don't really go live on Instagram. And two, because I wanted to introduce my new food photography channel on YouTube, and decided to double stream to both places at the same time, which sounded like a great idea in my head. And then when I realized that on Instagram, I'm shooting portrait, and on YouTube, I'm shooting landscape, it started to get a little bit difficult. And what I've realized is that doing live shoots going through, it's not as easy for me to do it on Instagram. So going forward, I will be doing more of my lives in 2026 on my new food photography channel, The Food Photography Show on YouTube. And today, those of you watching this on Instagram may want to go and find me on YouTube, because when I share the screen with Lightroom, where I'm going to tether to, it's going to be really tiny on your screen. But I'm prepared to show up. I said I was going to show up and do all of these through December. So I am still here. I'm just saying to you guys on Instagram, you will be able to see it as a bigger version on YouTube. The channel is The Food Photography Show. You can't miss it. I'm live there at the moment as well. It's landscape, and you can see it a lot more. Not that I have anything wrong with Instagram. It's been lovely having you guys here. It's just today, it's big. It's going to be big. It's our last one for the year, and it's going to be big. So what I want to start with is I want to talk about the treats that we've had since we've started Treatsember. So way back on the first week of December, that feels like about 93 weeks ago now, I offered you the 52 Bites, which is a weekly membership that lands in your inbox. It's discounted to only £15 a month at the moment. You get an email with a video and a PDF every week. The videos are no more than 5 minutes long and give you something to hang your hat on to do with food photography that you can just go away and do, or park them all and watch all 52 in one go. The second one I gave you was the Winter Creative Portfolio Builder. If you look on Instagram and you look at other people's grids, and they all look absolutely amazing, and you're thinking, why does mine not look like that? And it's because of the color harmony and the color psychology and the colors that you're using. And we spend 4 weeks in a private Facebook group. It starts 5th of January. So if you've got nothing to do at the beginning of January, come and join me. And we go through, and you're not given colors. You're going to decide on the colors for your brand, for what fits with you and how it works for you. And I'm sure if there's people watching and they've done any of these, they'll be able to tell you what they what they got out of it. Next was a VIP day. I have 2 days in January, 2 days in February, and 2 days in March to spend the day with me. You can either come to my studio here, don't look at it at the moment, trash from this morning's shoot, or I can come to your place and get you set up with your lights, your equipment, and shoot with you in your space. That's my VIP day. Next is my Savvy Food Photography Diary. It is selling on Amazon right now, and you can still get it in time for Christmas if you want a little present for yourself. The next thing we had is the Society's Photography Convention in Hammersmith in January is on, and I am a speaker there, and I am doing a 4-hour in-person super class that you can also join. All of these things are discounted, by the way, but I'm not going to go through all that now. I just want to remind you of everything that we're doing. And then last week, I opened up to you. I and the lovely Jeff Brown are going to go to Prague, and we're going to do a business retreat in Prague with lots of food, drink, and we're going to sort you out, your mindset, your business. Everything's going to happen in Prague. Which brings me on to the last one today. My last treat of Treatsember is, if Prague felt like a stretch to you and you're thinking, yeah, I'm not going to be able to get on a plane, get myself all the way to Prague, I've got something else for you. Myself and the lovely Jeff Brown, again, the photographer's mentor, we're going to be doing a smaller retreat in Northumberland. And the Northumberland retreat is set about half an hour away from Morpeth, and we will be doing all the business side of things, the mindset, the planning your year, getting your head straight. But obviously it's a lot less of a price tag than going to Prague. Now, I have opened this up to my Food Photography Academy this morning. The places are going, and I don't mean to say that as a scaremongery thing. It's just obviously with the hotels, we only have a certain amount of spaces, and the Food Photography Academy get first refusal on places, and those places are being snapped up for this one. This is the one that's flying out off the shelves the quickest, as well as the Savvy Food Photography Diary. They've been my 2 winner chicken dinners through Treatsember. So as I mentioned at the beginning, Treatsember is all about giving you something discounted or something rare or something I've never offered before. Everything you're getting, there is something different about it. So I hope that this will help you in 2026 be able to get where you need to get, whether it's the business side, whether it's getting in your own way, whether it's not understanding the food photography side. I have laid everything out for you for 2026. And these offers are on until Christmas Eve, till the end of Christmas Eve. If you're on my mailing list, please do have a look at them from there. If you're watching this live, you've never seen me before, have no idea who I am, but like the idea of some of the things I've talked about, then please do private message me, and I will give you the links to get on to everything that we've talked about. So that's the treats. Treatsember is well underway, and now we go on to the tips. The tips have been so exciting for me today because we're putting everything together that behind you might be able to see the studio is a little bit trashed, and I started the live 2 minutes late because I was busy lighting candles and doing lots of things that I'm really thinking, come on, you've got to go live, come on. So, you know, there is a lot to be said for just living in the moment and enjoying your food photography. So I'm going to remind you of all the tips that we've done. You might have been here for all of them, you might not have been, but all of those tips are going to be in this set now. So the first week we talked about twinkly lights. The second week, we talked about sprinklage and sprinkles and crumbs. The third week, we talked about using napkins and textiles to add texture to your shoot. We then talked about ice, artificial ice, natural ice, ice baby. Then we went on to talking about Christmas height trick of building things up in your image. And last week, we talked about color pops. And I just kind of went a bit crazy. Not last week. Was it last week? Yeah, last Wednesday. and just threw everything at it. So it gave you loads of ideas, and you could go dig. What is it that I want to do? So I'm hoping by now I've given you little things that you can do when you go back to build the next set, when you've got that empty background syndrome of, I don't know what to do with this cake. What am I supposed to do with it? So today we're going to put all of those together in one big shebang. So today we're going to be talking about the star of the scene. And the star of the scene is always the hero. And those of you in my world will be shouting this out now. Feel free to write it down. It is always remembering BBC. Bigger, brighter, bolder, clearer than anything else in the image. The star of the scene has to be bigger, brighter, bolder, clearer than everything else in the image, or your eyes drift to something else in the image. You've lost the impact of what it is that you are trying to sell. Caro, you are probably trying to do it really quickly there. Bigger, brighter, bolder, clearer. You can have a golden pineapple. So this is something that shows up a lot when I'm critiquing photos, that people have a hero, have the star of the scene, but they haven't made it sing, and we need to make it sing, which is very, very important. Okay, so I'm now going to show you my set. Again, those of you on Instagram, it's going to be a little bit harder to see because we're upright. Those of you on YouTube will be able to see the whole of the set. And if I move, it means I can cover the background of where I got a little bit too creative early on. So let's see if I can bring you in to, sorry, let me just bring in the Instagram people. Okay, I think we're going to need to be about there. So please bear with me. As I say, I'm streaming upright and landscape at the moment. If you are on Instagram, you will hear my dulcet tones, but I will not be in the image anymore. And if you are on YouTube, you've still got me. There's my jazz hands. So in this image today, let's see if I can bring you a little bit closer so you can see everything I've got, if you know what I mean. Okay, I'm faffing now. I'm so sorry. In this image today, I've counted it. We have over 50 props on this set. And yes, I have counted them because I'm sad. And maybe I should have took the time to clear up the studio after setting it up rather than counting how many things that I'd actually got in this set. But it's over 50. If you want to count it, feel free. You can tell me the exact amount. So when I photograph Christmas, a lot of the time I have two go-tos. Do I want to do a dark and moody, or do I want to do a winter wonderland, airy, fairy? So today I really worked hard to get out of my own head and to come up with something that was totally different. And I decided, that's it, we're going red. We're going red today. So I've used a piece of velvet at the back because I want the I want all the little pieces of velvet where I've made it so it's not stretched across. I want it to catch the light and get all the little shadows going down those rungs at the back. Plus, I wanted something quite opulent. And when we use velvet, it's very rich and it does feel very opulent, like crushed velvet, like something where we feel that it's very warm and very Christmassy. So I went with the red. That was the first thing I put onto the set. And then I used a red backdrop behind it. The next thing I did was I put my star of the scene into place. That's my cake. That's my Christmas cake. Now, if you think, how can I keep affording to keep buying all of these really big posh cakes that you keep bringing out? Well, top tip. My posh Christmas cake is actually a decorate your own Madeira cake that has been in my studio for over a year, maybe longer. And I just think when the icing all falls off, I will throw it away. At the moment, the icing's falling off around the back, so I've just done that. So again, don't always think that you have to spend a fortune on everything that you have got, because you don't. You just need to work up what you have. So before I show you how I've built this and where I've put all the composition, I'm going to go through all the things that we've done in Treatcembers up until now. So the first week, we talked about the twinkly lights. I opted for the gold twinkly lights rather than the silver twinkly lights because I wanted this really gold and red opulent feeling. The second week we did sprinkles, which we're going to sprinkle right at the end, but we're going to share the screen and we're going to get the shot before we get to that, before we get to that point. Napkins and textiles. We've got a mat here, and if we think about what we're putting into our image, we've got a mat, we've got the textiles at the back, being able to add that velvety luxury to it. I did have another napkin in there and I've just swapped it out because it just felt like overkill. I was like, nope, I want a napkin underneath the drink. And actually it didn't really work. So I don't think you can see that side of it. So let me see if I can move that around so you can see the other side of the set too. Okay, so after that, we did the ice. I have acrylic ice in the drink. The acrylic ice is doing a really good job of propping up my straw, my rosemary, and my cranberries. It's keeping them in place, so it's doing a really good job for me. And then the Christmas height trick that we talked about 2 weeks ago. We've got the backdrop. We've got the mat. We've got another little mat to give it a bit of height. We've got a tray. We've then got a cake stand. Then we've got the cake itself. And then we've got a multitude of things on the top. So it's not right. Let's just dump our cake down and hope for the best. We've got to build the height. We've got to build up that star of the scene. So our eyes go to it. We can see there's a lot more in the image. We need to have the storytelling, but our eyes are going to that star of the show. No pressure when I take this photo. Jeez. So that's where our eyes need to be. So we need to make it look really good. If I'd have just plonked the white cake onto here, it wouldn't have looked as good. Then we talked about colour pops. We have got colour pops everywhere here, which I've slightly cheated because it's red anyway, but we've got red berries, red baubles, gold red baubles, cranberries, red gold presents, golden pineapples. We've got a candle in the background and everything is now harmonizing with that red and gold. So I've tried to pop and go pop, 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 pop with all these extra things, but what I've also tried to do is harmonize and get that color psychology into what I'm doing, because I had this vision in my head and this is where I wanted to take it. So you can put all of this together. You have to decide though, first of all, your hero. It's bigger, brighter, bolder, clearer than everything else in the image, but what does it deserve to be put on and what is the backdrop of it? And that can be two different things. You can roll a background, you can put whatever it is that you want to put on there. So this week is all about looking at that hero and looking at the star of the scene. Now, as I mentioned before, there are over 50 elements in this image. There are 50 props in this image that I've put together. Hence why the studio is trashed. Hence why I was having a lovely time moving things around 64 million times, which is the curse of food photography. But now I've started to place all the elements and added everything in that we've built up over the last few weeks on Treatcember. So I'm now going to share the screen. We're going to take a photo of it and we are going to look what we think. So again, anyone that's just joined on Instagram, please bear in mind this is going to be really, really small. And if you want to see the bigger version of it, I am live on YouTube at the same time. Please do head to YouTube at the Food Photography Show, and you will be able to see it live in bigger and better. But if you want to stay on Instagram, that's absolutely fine too, no problem. So let's share this screen now and see what we get. Okay, so you should now see that we've got the screen. I'm just going to get me out the way a little bit and make it slightly bigger. That's the best that I can do. I'm still here. I'm not going for a lie down. I'm not going for a cup of tea. I'm just going to move the you out of the image because you're going to be in the photo. And I'm just going to go and switch the lights off if you think I've done a runner and I'm keeping you there all day. I'm not. I'm just switching my lights off. Okay, I'm back. I've not gone very far. I did not go for my lie down. Now let's take a picture and see what we get. We're working obviously with natural light. I forgot to talk about the light. We'll talk about it in a minute. So I have no idea what the light's doing right now. Okay. So the light is looking okay. It's not popping as much as I want, but the light is looking okay. So the hero is the cake. It's bigger, it's brighter, it's bolder, it's clearer than everything else in the image. We've purposely built it up to make it bigger. I've added in lots of adornments on the top to make it brighter. I'm making it bolder by getting it into focus, and I'm ensuring that everything in the background is now blurred so that my eyes know exactly where they're supposed to draw towards. What I'm missing here is, you can probably see down this side here, I've got a big shadow, which is not what we want. And I am side lighting, so you can see the light is coming in from this side here, hitting the cake here, but we're losing the light because it's blocked. So I'm just going to bounce a little bit of light back into this image and we'll have a look at both of those. Okay, so if I show you between, look at the right hand side of the cake. Oops, sorry. Just see that subtle difference on the right hand side of that cake. It could be a bit extreme. I do like a little bit of shadow. I've done that with a silver. I'm just going to change it round and just do it with white so it's not as reflective. And we'll see what we think to that. Okay. So that's without the bounce light. That's with the silver bounce light. And that is with the white. Oh, it's in the picture a little bit. But you can probably see between the three just that very, very subtle difference with the image. I can't leave it with one with the bounce light in there. I'm going to have to take it again, which is working really well. The only last thing we've got is we've got a lot of light bouncing off things that are gold. That is a problem. So I'm just going to add a little bit of black card to try and stop the light here and see if that makes a difference. Oh, my card's gone. Okay, you might not be able to see that at the moment, but I'll show you afterwards when I've stopped sharing the screen. Okay, can you see in the background now? We've made things a lot darker by adding a little bit of black card. And look at the difference on the highlights. I forgot to put my bounce light back in, so I'm just going to put my bounce light back in. Okay. So just look at the difference on the golden pineapples at the back, just by stopping the light hitting them. Just makes such a difference to what we want to do. We're trying to make it winter and cozy and everything like that. Right, I'm just coming back to you to see if there's any questions, as I couldn't see the questions before that. I'm just going to put the light back on so I can talk through it. Okay, right. Oh, sorry, Caro, I missed that. Fruitcakes with the marzipan and icing will last for years for sure. Yeah, mine's getting really crusty. I wouldn't like to think how old mine is. Right. Instagrammers, I'm not going to bring you back round to me just yet. You like the gold in it? It looks lovely. Thank you. Black card makes the cake pop more. Yeah, it stopped the light. So basically, putting white card in bounces the light back in very subtly. Putting black card there stops the light, bang. So if you've got reflections on glass, you've got shiny objects, which around Christmas, we have a lot of that. You've got to be using your black card as much as you're using your white card. And that's all I'm doing here. I don't want that black card to come in line with the cake. I don't want anything taken off the cake, but I do want it taken off this background. So rather than having to faff around in post-production afterwards, just having a few bits of black card and a few bits of white card will just make it so much easier for you. Can't quite tell from the screen share, but roughly how much of the cake do you manage to get in focus at f.1 in the single shot? I think quite a bit was. Let me just go and have a look. I can share it again. Let's have a look. I'll just share the screen to show you. Just bear with me a minute, those people that have got any other questions. Let me let the cat in. Coming in? Right. So if we look here, that is looking pretty sharp. I've just lost a bit round that cone. So I can photo stack or I can take a couple of shots doing that. So anyone that wanted to know my camera settings, if you're working with a camera, I've got a Nikon Z8. I've got a 50mm lens on it. This is the bit where people will have varying views on their exposure triangle of what they change. My shutter speed is 1/160th of a second. My aperture is down at 1.8, so I get that beautiful bokeh blurred background that we've got here. I would not get the background looking like this if I upped my aperture, which I'm going to show you in a minute. That's a really good idea. And my ISO is up at 1000. And when you go over 1000, people gasp. They gasp and say, why are you up in your exposure? Why are you up in your ISO? And the reason is my camera will crank it up a good few thousand before you would see any grain in this image. You are not seeing. Let's have a look on that cake. There is no noise on that image at 1000. There's going to be no noise on it at 3000 or probably 5000. But this is where it sets the cats among the pigeons in terms of what camera you've got, how old your camera is. You might have a camera that at 1000, there is so much noise and grain. You're looking at me going, you're absolutely mad. This is very, very camera specific of what you can do, how bad the light is on the day. Obviously, we're using natural light today because I wanted to get the bokeh look in the background. But just for fun, let's just change the settings. We'll go up to an f8. 250 on the shutter speed. Just take the ISO down to 640. It might not work, but I just want to show you the difference in the lights in the background. I pushed it too far. Story of my life. Okay. Oops. Went the wrong way with the ISO. Sorry, I'm just fiddling with the exposure triangle so I can just show you how bad the lights look when you get it. There we go. So I'm going to go even a bit further, make that a little bit lighter. So once you change that aperture, as you can see, let's just get rid of them and get back to the one before. You will see what that difference of the aperture makes for that bokeh look in the background. Just bear with me a minute. I really want to show you this. So there you go. That is the difference of your aperture and what you do with that depth of field to get that beautiful blurred bokeh look. Let's stop sharing. Sorry, there might be more questions. Antio, I never seem to get that much in focus at the f-stop. Maybe I need to bring the camera back a bit more. Yeah. Or the other thing to think about, Ansuya, is to think about how many focus points you're using, what your focus modes are, that kind of thing. So, you know, that's another thing to have a think about. Right, let me just have a look on Instagram, see if there's any questions on Instagram. I've got loads of tabs open now. No questions on Instagram, I don't think. I can't see any there. But if you've got any questions, please do ask me. This is my last Treatsember. And as mentioned, doing live demos, I've realized doing the live demos are so much easier for me on YouTube than Instagram, because I can't get me and the set into the frame. So please do subscribe. If you're on YouTube, please do subscribe to the Food Photography Show. If you're on Instagram, please do head over there. More will be back in 2026, but it is going to be more through YouTube than Instagram. I've just got more that I can do. So while you're thinking, if you've got any other questions, the treat for today is a 2-day business treat in Northumberland with myself and Jeff Brown, the photographer's mentor. We are double teaming a business retreat, a mindset retreat, a just resetting you and getting you on the path for 2026. This is happening in February. You've got January to really knuckle down and see what you want to do, and then come and spend some time with us in Northumberland. There is also a beautiful walk to Cragside, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous National Trust place. And we will be having afternoon tea at the Running Fox. And Northumberland do the most amazing afternoon tea. It's not just sandwiches. It's not just scones. It's not just tea or coffee. You get an extra added course in there, and you get to choose whether you want some pie or some quiche. Now, I've been there quite a few times now, and I can't actually eat it all, but I get really excited to have an extra course in my afternoon tea of quiche and pie. So, you know, if you're a foodie, it's great afternoon tea at the Running Fox. Right, let me just check if there are any more questions on either YouTube or on Instagram. Nope, no more questions. That means you are all sorted, ready to go, everything happening for Christmas. So I really hope that you have enjoyed the treats that I've been giving out and all the top tips that I've given out, and just finishing today with the penultimate of putting all the tips together in one thing. Oh, I know what I haven't done. I was going to sprinkle, wasn't I? Have you all got a few minutes for me just to sprinkle? And we're going to put some sprinklage over the top of the cake. What do you think? In fact, I'm going to do it. If you haven't got time to stay, we have gone on quite a bit today. Let's just do it. Let's just sprinkle, because, you know, people that sprinkle together stay together. So I've now lost Lightroom. Let me see if I can find it. This is why I need someone with me, don't I? To remind me what, you know, what you're doing. Oh, I closed it. There we go. See, so many tabs open. Okay, we are up, but it's not showing. Come on, Lightroom. It's having a think about it. Just give it a minute. If there's any questions while I'm waiting, can't see any. I've got the big whirly thing. Oh, there we go. We're up. Let me just check. You can see that. You can. Right. So what I'm going to just do now is I'm going to put my camera on timer, and we're just going to have a bit of sprinklage. I need to put my settings back to whatever they were. So just putting the settings back just to check, make sure the settings were right. And now I'm going to switch the lights off again and put it on automatic timer. I'm not ready. Okay, I'm just going to do one more. Okay, so just looking there at what we've got, we're working backwards on the sprinklage, and it's now looking a lot more Christmassy. I do need to work on that now. Let me put the lights back on. But that will be my last one that I do without you guys on my own, just for fun, just for absolute fun. Okay, everyone. So that is everything. If you are on my mailing list, you will get a list of everything that is available for Treat December, and you will get a chance to see all the tips. If you're not in my world at the moment, please message me and I will get everything to you. And it's been a real pleasure turning up live twice a week. That's been my accountability to myself. It's been a real pleasure turning up and spending it with you guys on both platforms. Susan, very useful few weeks. Thank you. Merry Christmas. See you in January, indeed. Lovely. Thanks so much, everyone. Really enjoyed spending this time with you. Have a fantastic Christmas. Take care. Bye.